what's up, guys? Back again, another video. And I had a thing for a moment, right? Of what is something I felt like people should hear. And although it's like a topic that everyone's heard, everyone knows about, how to be productive, and that's the idea I kind of want to get into and give my take on it. And although it may not be like, oh, take certain steps, it's more of a mindset you have to have. Whereas you have to be the kind of person who will take action regardless of any sort of problems that may occur. So getting into it, it's like the way I see it is the action itself is going to be done or it isn't done. It's a do or don't kind of thing. And at some point you have to take it to that level, because if you get caught up in all these other ideas or variables, factors like, oh, what if they think this, what if they think that, then it's never going to be done. You're always going to be stuck in this idea of wanting to do it and accepting, okay, yo, I want to do this, I want to set this goal and achieve it, but you never truly commit to it. And that's the thing, you really have to commit to it, especially like when there's all this sort of distractions, you can say, where things are always pulling your attention away, whether it's social media, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, whatever it might be. It could be anything and everything. Or the variety of which there's so many distractions that are out now compared to back then is crazy. But it's really just the idea of how bad do you want it, and are you willing to take it and take whatever comes with it, truly and wholly, where it's like, whether positive, negative, beneficial, not beneficial, you accept the consequences that come with that. And for your particular area or subject, it's gonna have separate things than what the next person might do or want. Because if you take two certain goals, for every single person, it's gonna be different ways of achieving it. And of course, there's a baseline of doing certain actions and doing certain things that will help you get to it, or certain ideas where it'll help. So it's like, let's say it's like playing an instrument, right? Of course you can go out and play, but then there's also other ideas that you can take into account, whether it's what would be the best thing to start on, and would be getting an instructor the best way to go about this, or all these questions, but it's all leading to the eventual goal, because you ask the questions, get the information, and then you keep it pushing. You actually start on it, and that's the point of being productive, is actually doing it. Because being productive, it's having momentum in a certain positive manner, or in a manner where it's like it benefits you, and not wasting, but benefiting your time, getting the most out of your time, the bang for your buck, I guess you could say. And honestly, it really comes down to distractions, and why do you get distracted, and how do you stop yourself from getting distracted? Because you may at first you may not be aware, oh, I'm on my phone this certain amount of time, or oh, I need to stop playing video games as often, because of course you can have your free time to do that, but then you also got to ask yourself, is this taking too much of my time, and what do I get out of it? Because for some things it's like, sure, you can do them, like let's say you play video games, and then you can just of course use that for start streaming video games or posting video game content, or whatever that may be. So of course you can do that too, where it's also benefiting you in that way too. So it's not like video games are bad, or saying it's necessarily bad or good. It's just the way you go about it, and the way you actually utilize it. And because it's like, I don't know, you really have to take into account like what you get out of it, what you get out of a certain action or habit, or even idea, if it may occur. And going into that, it's like, in the way you think about it, it's like, you got your goals, right? And then it's sometimes some people just don't want it bad enough. That's the thing. Some people just don't want it bad enough. They're not. Well, they'll hear the requirements of what you got to do, and they're like, But if that's not you, then of course, you're gonna take those actions to continuously move forward and pursue the goal. But that just sounds all broad-minded and everything. Let's talk about like something you can actually do and apply. Because it's like, sure, you got the knowledge, but then if you don't apply it, then what use is it? I mean, it's cool to know, but then it's like, okay. I mean, obviously, it's like, step one, be aware of how you use your time, and if need be, even use like schedule your day, time blocks, writing it down, or even just having a list of things you want to do for however long. That's step one, simple step. I mean, I guess that's step 1 and 2. 1 is being aware of how you use it. Number 2 is write down what you want. What was that? Okay. Step 3, creating a plan for how you're going to go about it and organizing your day in a certain way where it's, structured. Because obviously you got to have structure. Because without structure, it's all going to crumble down. It's like you're on a chair with 3 legs. If you're just doing everything randomly, anything can kind of throw it away or throw it off balance, of course. And I mean, obviously, it's like that's as far as it can be. Especially like, and the reason now I'm making this video or talking about it is because I feel like I've always just had the ideas about it, but then I don't believe I've ever talked about it, especially with this new year coming in, with your New Year's resolutions and all that. You kind of got to be more aware of, actually completing it, because everyone says they can do this, do that, or, whatever it may be, and then they don't do it. They just don't apply themselves. And of course, there's a lot of people that'll start for a good month, 2 months, but then just stop. It'll die out. Some people don't try. Oh well, well, being aware of how you kind of interact with yourself also is important. And the kind of ideas like why you stop yourself from doing it. Because I mean, if you really think about it, why you stop it, maybe a lot of the times it's out of the idea of what people are going to say and think about it. If we take that into account, it's like, why should you care? Simple as that. Why should you care? They're not you. They're not in your shoes. They're not, you essentially. Because you have to get into the idea that everything you do is for yourself, not in a selfish kind of way, but in a way where it's like, I guess it is selfish, because it's like you want what you want. Simple as that. You want what you want. And now, if it's out of time constraints, I mean, you got to figure it out somehow. Obviously, again, look at the time you have free, quote unquote, because it's like, let's say you got a 12-hour shift. Okay, you're tired, you got to eat, you got to shower, it's like a lot of these things, it just kind of takes away takes away at your time. And then by the time you're off, you're already tired, you're already like, I just want to relax. But then it's, and just kind of be comfortable. It's like, I guess you have to step out of that comfort, being honest, and kind of raise the ability that you kind of go on, or kind of just utilize yourself as, even though you're tired, it's like you still gotta keep going, And I know my previous video, I talked about taking a breath, where you just gotta sometimes just calm down, and not in a way where it detracts from everything you're doing. You take 3 months off or something. It's just breathing and being in the moment and present. So there's also that idea too, where as much as you grind, you gotta just breathe at times. Think slow enough so you can look at the direction you're going, and have these kinds of thoughts of redirecting it if you need to, redirecting the course. But a lot of productivity, it mainly just comes to the action of actually doing it and, committing to it, because you can't really see how you can't really tell how someone's feeling about a certain thing, because if you take two people, right, they're both doing an action, whether it's, let's say working out. They're both working out. You can't tell how they feel. You can't tell if they're depressed, motivated, angry, stressed, joyful. You can't tell how they're feeling, but you can see that they're making an action to benefit them. So it really just comes down to, action. Again and again, it's always action. It's always action, because you could feel motivated, you can feel like you don't want to do it. What really matters is the action and the intention you have with it. So that being said, you guys got your New Year's resolutions. Hopefully, if anything, start them now, just so by the time the year comes, you're already becoming accustomed to it. Because isn't there the study where it's like it takes 60 days to build a habit, and once it's a habit, it's normal to you, and then you keep raising that level, raising it, and then you look back, time has passed, you're like, oh wow, I've come so far, instead of wasting that time being like, wow, I've thought about this so long and I'm still stuck at where I am. I haven't made any sort of movement because of my fear, my misconceptions, my judgment. So at the end of the day, it's just, take the action, just do it. Like Nike says, just do it. But with that being said, I want to leave that off. Thank you for listening. If you made it this far, see you guys.